Khandro-la said, God is it. She doesn't remember. God forgot everything, she said. Forgot everything. And Tushita.
Precise in accordance with the needs of those to be trained.
Khandro-la is saying she would like to say Khandro-la is saying Tashadili to all of you. Welcome to all. Khandro-la is saying that doesn't know anything. So Rinpoche requested Khandro-la Rinpoche requested Khandro-la to say a few words, and so as a sign of auspiciousness, she will do so. And so all of you have come together here from different countries. You have come together to this Dharma place, to this Dharma temple, and you've met Rinpoche and have received his precious teachings. So this is a very precious opportunity. We're very fortunate to have received, have done those things. And so all of us, the reason we engage in Dharma practice is that all of us wish to avoid suffering and to have happiness. This is the reason for engaging in Dharma practice. And so to engage in Dharma practice, there's so many different ways of doing so, of engaging in Dharma practice. And so the meaning of Dharma, or in Tibetan, Chö, means to transform, to change. So the word chö, as in like, or to basically to cut or to get rid of. So in this way here, Khandro-la is saying that so we want to get rid of suffering, we want to transform, or we want to eliminate suffering. That's why we engage in the practice of chö, or in Sanskrit Dharma. And in order to eliminate suffering, we can only do so if we understand the nature of suffering, if we understand what suffering is. And so, therefore, there are different types of suffering. So there's manifest suffering, and then there's hidden suffering. And so suffering also has been accumulated since beginningless time. So there are many different types that have been accumulated since beginningless time. So all of us are not wanting suffering, but this kind of suffering is accumulated, this unwanted suffering is accumulated through the ignorance or the misperception of reality. So having cycled within cyclic existence or samsara in the past, doing it now and cycling in cyclic or samsara in the future, the root of that is the ignorance or the misperception of reality. And so regarding that ignorance, what the ignorance does is it does not perceive what is actually there. It is unable to see the reality. It doesn't see that. It is mistaken with regard to that. It doesn't perceive it correctly. So it perceives that which is in the nature of suffering to be in the nature of happiness. It perceives that which is impermanent to be permanent. It perceives that which is selfless to have a self, and it perceives that which is empty not to be empty. Oh, sorry. And it perceives that which is impure as being pure. And from that, self-cherishing or the self-centered mind arises. So without eliminating that self-grasping kind of mind, the mind that perceives a non-existent self, so without eliminating that kind of ignorance, without eliminating that, we cannot eliminate the root, we cannot eliminate suffering. And so as long as we don't revert or don't get rid of the mind that perceives a self, as long as we don't perceive selflessness, there's the attachment to form, to visual form, to sounds, and so forth. And even worse than that, there is the self-cherishing or self-centered attitude. So of the two kind of principles of the view of dependent arising and then the conduct of non-violence, so these are the principal kind of views in order to overcome suffering, to eliminate our suffering. And so it's the view and the conduct. And so in order to bring forth those two, therefore we need to understand our false perception. We need to understand the false perception and overcome that. And so our aim should be, our desire should be, the wish of bodhicitta, the wish to generate bodhicitta and liberation and enlightenment. That should be our aim. But basically, it should be to be kind-hearted, to be have a warm heart. And so, in order to generate bodhicitta, then it is said we should be kind-hearted, we should make prayers. So we should make prayers, we should be kind-hearted. But in order to be kind-hearted, to have that warm-heartedness, Khandro-la is saying it's important to be honest, to be truthful. So without that, it's not possible to be kind-hearted. So it's important to be truthful and honest. Therefore, it's important to understand that the kindness of Buddhas and of sentient beings is equal. So regarding the Buddha, so the Buddha is showing us how is showing us that suffering can be eliminated, and is showing us how the elimination, what to eliminate and what to adopt. So the Buddha is showing us that. And so oneself then applying that and practicing the path and making an effort, that depends on other sentient beings. And so sentient beings who equal space. So it is said that we should do it for the benefit of all those sentient beings, that we generate bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment, and work for the countless living beings to do it for their benefit. And so therefore we need to know the kindness of the Buddhas and of sentient beings. So sentient beings are those who are under the poison of the 6 types of afflictions, and they're under the control of those, and they're under the control of the self-grasping, the selfish type of mind. So until now, Khandro-la is saying, until now we've been inside the existence and under the power of our contaminated actions and afflictive karma. So we've been, until now, the self-centered attitude and so forth has led us to stay within samsara and to suffer the way we've done. And so now when we do Dharma, we should do so for the benefit of others. We should work for the benefit of others, generate bodhicitta and so forth for others, to actually give our body towards others, to do whatever we do, our Dharma practice, work and so forth. In whatever activity we engage in, we should do so for the benefit of others. And we should remember that everything we have, everything we can enjoy, such as food and clothing and everything we need for our everyday life, it comes from others. So everything good that we have comes from others. It's all through the kindness of others that we receive this. So therefore it's important to work towards the happiness of others.
Tundru Lutilena, Chawa Kanditchi, the Mother House, Roger Jenda Hamona, and not a meal within store, and a meal within there, Jujin Kanditsin to the Habores, and they are young, and G, Namju the Ten, the Zachin, Shira Piju down Kaditi, enjoying a 20 of 100. They are young, and G said Medava. Nisu Inzane, and said Medava. Some Diana. And it's a Medava, some tango, good rodi, and Sosuji, and Mizina, and G. Say Medava, some Tangina, and Langadi, and Sonundang, Sosoyadang, Chuchi, Langala, Kumbachewa, Jin, some Neuroiris, Donging washing. Peradinama to Kurvazoedi, and Tizamazo, and Mizichi, some Nanji. So, Tam Holanga, any Mizichi, and Rangjung, Katsugi, and Korvanana, Zachimbudan, and Nieda Chimbudan, and Zambo Katsuina, in Rangjing Zidang, during Rangjing Mate, and during Nala, the May Rangjing. And live choosing the Hapoes. Did love choosing the Hapoina, and it was Mitzi Delegate Marvas. Mitzi, live choosing the La Ichichigo Maris. They in the name, Matsu Mitzinala, and Mahomba Inanda, Tada Inanda, under Matsu Juno Muju, Yakshu, Sayadi, Change of December, Young Tabita, Rating Loose. They in the name, Susu Mitzi. Only turning the Jevahina to the Chubores. Chubo. Then the Devata Rangi, Sulazelina, and Nevajini, Devani interest. Near Sambala, Masui, Juno Yakshu, Chishu, Ishichesa, Lower Melody, and Chanju December Tongani rating those. And Dia, Tola, Lela Maras, they in Zane, and Mazo, Chiglamanism, Geva Chubizina, Geva Narina, Chiboradang. Dipanari no Bangoyade, and Nire Tuano, Susu Getiki Lando de, Susu Shudachi, Susu Shudachi, dog rating those. Yeah, my little version.
So, I hope I'll be able to repeat her rich teachings in the same way, incredibly rich. So Khandro-la is saying that whether we accept the Dharma or we don't, no matter whether we do or not, when we accumulate virtue, then as a result of accumulating virtue, then the feelings of happiness will arise. Pleasant feeling will be the result of that. Whereas on the other hand, the kind of feelings we don't want, suffering feelings, they come from negative actions that are induced by conflictive emotions, which in turn are induced by the root ignorance of not perceiving reality. So all right now, we have these incredibly precious things right now. We have right now all these, we have this extremely precious human rebirth. So even if we don't think of other realms of existence, just to think of the human type of existence. So it's important to understand how one gets to such a precious human life, and to understand that we have this wisdom or this intelligence as human beings naturally. So to use this in a useful way, and to use our entire life in a meaningful way, and to understand at the same time that our life is impermanent. So we need to reflect on the impermanence of this life, and also of accumulating merit, of accumulating positive potential, positive karma, and understanding the nature of suffering. So this is important to do. And so oftentimes people just are interested in just this life only, in like the food and accommodation and clothing and so forth. But our life is so extremely precious, while at the same time it is in the nature of suffering, and it is deceiving, it's deceitful. It's a deceitful kind of existence. So we shouldn't be deceived by the wrong kind of perceptions, and understand its actual nature. And Khandro-la was saying that the best and most precious things in our life are bodhicitta and the correct view of emptiness. So having those two, one is rich, one is a rich person, one has the riches that one needs when one is able to generate those. So that's why Khandro-la said again, what's most precious in our life is bodhicitta and emptiness. That's what she said. That's what she thinks. Oh, sorry, I forgot. And so we should accumulate. So we should not engage into any kind of small non-virtue, and we should try to generate any kind of small virtue. We should not accumulate any kind of small non-virtue and accumulate every little virtue. Engage in that.
아니 너나 맞아. 주 컨디션은 지워요. 공 컨디션 잡아요. 아니 주제랑 몸으로 와서 대인자는 심지어는 많이 지체로 아니 사제다 전주선 받아야 대박 이시 지체로 정도나 아니 자시 잔자탄 소소 주 지고에서 지식이에서 아니 지 생질라니 지체로 만들어지 아니 대박 하나 중도로지 아니지 마모 주 찍자 뭐지 마시 핀도요 말이지 이거라 아스스 주변에만 타시오 그랬어. 주치 마시고 타시오 그랬어. 대인자는 소소 심주야다. 한번 심정으로 잡다야지. 계시는 진도스. 아니 드시나. 다시 대는. 아니 시라시시 건다스. 신년에 제스나 건다. 미칠 건다다. 건사와 건다. 지비.
In short, so there are many different ways how to practice the Dharma. There's so many different ways of meditating. And so one should generate greater faith in the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, greater faith, greater belief and aspiration towards them, and should increase more one's kindness towards sentient beings. So this is a sign of correct Dharma practice, of having greater faith in the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and having more kindness towards sentient beings. If, on the other hand, one finds one's faith in Buddhas and Bodhisattvas is getting less, it's decreasing, and one's kindness towards sentient beings is also degenerating, then one knows, one can understand that one is not on the right path, that one is not practicing properly. So one should subdue one's mind and become more kind-hearted. And then Khandro-la said at the very end, but I don't really know, and I apologize if, and also, I'm sorry also towards Rinpoche, she said,